Hello guys, NautoAisDx here, and believe it or not, this will be a follow-up on my thoughts of Sakura Wars 2020 for the PlayStation 4 not having English dub. In that video, I kind of rant why whoever was in charge made, in my opinion, a wrong decision by omitting English dub on the game. However, there is a series, you can watch it on Funimation, and that one's actually have English dub. So you're gonna see the bullshit there, and I hope it's not some sort of gatekeeping with Funimation, kind of like sending Kagura with Marvelous, but I already talked about that. So that's what the gist of it is, because at the same time, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon did have an English dub. On that video, there was a link that I added, basically an interview with the people, and there was actually something else that actually were more complaints. So for me, it's the lack of English dub. However, the Japanese player who played this game, who are a fan of, first of all, they're not really a fan of hack and slash. It was a big mistake, kind of like Yokai Watch 4 being an action RPG. If you change the formula, your dedicated fans who are willing to put money at full price, you're pissing them off. Just saying there. So we made it to a hack and slash, and yeah, this game, believe it or not, didn't do well, sadly, in Japan. Because according to SEGA, the reason why they made a hack and slash because they thought it would be easier than a tactical game for the general consumer, and that did not work. So yeah, good job SEGA, you dumbass. So beside that point there was also the complaint that how the game itself sort of, believe it or not, partial Japanese sub. Yes, the game actually is Japanese partial sub, because I finally get to play it. So I got the game Christmas of 2020. The game I think came out in April of 2020, so Christmas, December. And then because backlog, I finally decided to check out the game. Why not? I mean, heck, I've been playing on my Series X, Gears of War 4 and 5, so I gotta say, I can see why it's freaking awesome playing it on that system with the frame boost, but I digress. But you got a thumbs up for Phil Spencer. So anyway, with that said, going back to Sakura Wars. So this game, I'm surprised, has Japanese sub partially, and I'm surprised. I mean, granted, to some extent also the Yakuza series before 6, but usually for that one is the submission, not sort of the main cutscene. But for this one, some of the main cutscene, yeah, it doesn't have sub, so that's actually surprisingly for Japanese. Normally, they put more voice line than English, because to some extent the pay is different. I'm not gonna get in there, but the gist of it is kind of sad in my opinion, because I live in the West, is that the Japanese, they don't get paid much for whether drawing, acting, or voice acting. I know it's a shocker. I mean, there's a story about a mangaka making $5 an hour, so just think that in your head, because that's not gonna fly in the West, and I'm gonna talk about that in a different video. So the fans were also complaining about that, and the producer for that game admitted, they said yes, but because due to budget issue, that's why they couldn't do it. And I've been saying this before, and they talked about it before, that even the Japanese, to some extent, they even suggest to SEGA a paid director's cut to add more voice line. Yeah, it is possible. Trails of Cold Steel for the PS4 and I mean for the PS4, believe it or not, added more lines. Yeah, it's still partial dub, but they added more line. Tales of Vesperia added more lines. That's when you kind of notice there's Troy Baker, then not Troy Baker voice, but whatever. Yeah, with re-release to some extent, they're adding more lines. So, and I think there are some games, believe it or not, that added more lines by via update or DLC. So the Japanese fan for Sakura Wars, they actually suggest that, and they're like, oh, well, we'll think about it. So, of course, when they say, I'll think about it, chances are they're not thinking about it. Business 101, dickish, but it is what it is when they always say that. So, yeah, I can see now why the Japanese fans are not happy with this game. Not only it's a hack and slash, but to some extent, it's also partially Japanese sub. We're not even adding English dub for the Western fan because, oh, we have a limited budget. Text or English dub. Text or English dub. I mean, you can go, what about Fantasy Star Online 2? Well, you got to give credit to Phil Spencer. So, like I said before, if Microsoft bought SEGA, I can guarantee you, because, Phil Spencer's going to use Microsoft Papa money. They're going to make all those Japanese games with English dub. Heck, like I said, I have a Series X, so, I'm good. I'm good there. I'm covered. So, if they do actually buy SEGA, hey, I'm not going to complain. At least they're going to add English dub because, you can have a lot of those money, those Papa Microsoft money. So, anyway, I digress. So, anyway, with that one is, I can see now why. So, I kind of probably just tell you that right now, SEGA, they're probably being selective with the situation. Because even, like I said, the Yakuza series are, to some extent, I wouldn't really say partial sub that one, but when it goes to the side mission, side story, they're not sub. Except for 6, that's the only one. 6 is the only one that's very full sub. From my understanding, because they were doing an anniversary for the Yakuza series, so it kind of makes sense there. So, so I can see why this game wasn't so much successful. Because, well, you can tell why there. So, just want to do this follow-up on Sakura Wars 2020 not having English dub. And not only that, they also pissed off the Japanese fan for having partial Japanese sub, which is kind of weird. But if you've been following SEGA to some extent, they're not really in top-notch when it comes to finance. Gist of it is, there's a story at one point that they were even asking some employee willing to resign because, again, they're not having a lot of money to some extent, to a point that they're doing whatever they gotta do to survive. It is what it is there. So with that, I'll see you guys later.